Hi, and welcome back, or welcome to J. Kernifer Astrology. Today, we're here to discuss the full moon partial lunar eclipse, 25 degrees Pisces, on September 17th or 18th, depending on where in the world you're tuning in from, 2024. It's a super full moon, which means that the moon is much closer to the Earth in her orbit. This is her apogee, and the close proximity of the moon to the Earth enhances its intensity. This can also intensify or increase the Earth's seismic activity. It's a full moon in Pisces, so we know it's going to be deeply sensitive. And it'll be all about release, especially from attachment to expectation or outcome. Stay tuned to find out how this incredibly karmic Pisces full moon lunar eclipse falls in your chart that may feature a fated ending with permanent changes unfolding over the next 6 months and several years. This full moon lunar eclipse peaks while the moon is sandwiched between Saturn, Lord of Karma, and Neptune, the modern-day planetary ruler of Pisces, with Neptune strong and empowered in the late final degrees of Pisces. While Neptune's in the late degrees of Pisces, it's approaching conjunction with the North Node of Fate and Destiny in February 2025, 28 degrees Pisces, the same degree point where it is now, under this partial full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. This eclipse, therefore, is foreshadowing themes that will play out in 2025, 2026, and even into 2027. This is the first eclipse of its kind along the Pisces-Virgo axis of opposition, one of many that we'll experience over the next several years. There may be fated alignments, synchronicities, and dramatic endings. For those of you on the twin flame path, you may experience twin flame union and reunion. Soulmates of all kinds can now connect. Divine timing is all about alignment. Relationships will be deeply transforming this September and October, reflecting an overall collective change in values. From the autumnal equinox, aka the first day of fall here in the Northern Hemisphere, aka the first day of Libra season, which falls on Sunday, September 22nd in 2024. Remember, 2024 is a leap year, so everything shifts by a day. This means that from the very first day of Libra season, after the sun opposes Neptune, empowered in the late degrees of Pisces, when the sun enters its fall, or its weekend, focusing on other or relationships, in Libra, it's putting the spotlight on our karmic relationship patterns, our tendencies to people please, or be treated like a doormat. We'll have a new moon solar eclipse in the early degrees or first decan of Libra, featuring the South Node and Black Moon Lilith in conjunction in Libra with ruling planet Venus in Scorpio. There may be some secrets revealed about your closest relationships. Overall, these transits can bring intensity and drama to our closest relationships. Fear not, though, for every tower moment that we're presented with also presents us the opportunity to grow the relationship stronger together as we work through those triggers and learn to work together instead of giving up or running away. Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac, so every Pisces full moon will involve some sort of ending. The lunar eclipse aspect adds a heightened sense of drama, synchronicity, and karma, with Saturn being co-present in Pisces. Things that may be comfortable, but don't spark joy, may be slammed shut as we're redirected. Whenever the moon is in Pisces, we're encouraged to explore the depths of our creativity and intuition. With a full moon in Pisces, the sun is in Virgo, with Mercury co-present and influencing Jupiter while Jupiter is in Gemini, with Jupiter as the traditional planetary ruler for this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. This full moon spotlights our overall tendency to seesaw, or to be at odds with, our more creative, imaginative, intuitive, emotional side versus our logical, analytical, critical side. When there's a full moon in Pisces, this puts practicality at odds with the more dreamy, intuitive energies of Pisces. When there's a full moon in Pisces, it puts practicality at odds with Pisces' more dreamy and intuitive, fluid nature. This is amplified this year with Neptune's conjunction to the full moon and in the late degrees of Pisces. All of this happening while Saturn and Neptune travel together through the sign of Pisces and into Aries. Saturn is our tough love teacher of karmic lessons that foster greater personal accountability, usually reflecting the energy of our primary disciplinarians, bosses, fathers, and other authority figures. Saturn rewards hard work, accountability, and humility. Neptune is the modern-day planetary ruler of Pisces. As a slower-moving outer planet, Neptune takes a long time to complete an orbit, 165 years. Because Neptune has such a long orbit, it spends about 14 years in each zodiacal sign, and its transits tend to represent the energy patterns of a generation or a sub-generation. Neptune represents the collective unconscious, including the realms of spirituality, imagination, creativity, and intuitive or psychic sensitivity. When challenged by weakened expression or harsh aspect to another planetary body, Neptune can show how we avoid reality, whether we opt to escape out via our imaginations, an addiction, or martyrdom. Neptune and Pisces aren't great at boundaries, and neither is Libra. Pisces is represented by two fish swimming in opposite directions, representing the never-ending flow of the unconscious. And Libra is a chameleon, an air sign known for its ability to adapt to any group or environment and to mirror just about any energy. It's very common in the charts of actors and actresses to have some strong Libra placement. Libra moon especially, I've noticed in male actors. The goal is to be neither so logically oriented at the expense of our creative or intuitive side, nor so Piscean as to escape reality entirely, become completely consumed by delusion or addiction. It takes a healthy balance to actualize a dream. You need enough self-confidence and resolve in yourself to know that what you're doing is what you're meant to be doing, and consistent, almost daily effort to make that dream a reality. If we're too head in the clouds, we could get lost in the dream world and fail to take action on those goals. We do have an upcoming Mars retrograde through Leo and Cancer to help us work on this, as our motivation will be closely tied to the lunar cycles and our moods. This lunar eclipse in Pisces is traditionally ruled by Jupiter, which is currently about halfway through its transit through Gemini. Although technically debilitated in Gemini, where it would be opposite its sign of rulership, Jupiter in Gemini answers to ruling planet Mercury, which is not only emerging with clarity from its post-retrograde shadow, it's newly reborn in the sign of Virgo, strong, efficient, organized, prepared, and empowered, as Virgo is one of the signs it rules. Although having Mercury in Virgo makes it easier for us to tap into Virgo's many strengths, still be on the lookout for shadow Virgo patterns. Being overly critical of the self and projecting that outward onto others. This is usually coupled with control issues and or anxiety. Be mindful of getting tangled or lost in the weeds or details, or completely overlooking them. Remember, don't sweat the small stuff. Keep that balance with the Jupiter broad, stoic detachment, broad view. Virgo is one of Mercury's favorite signs, as the planetary ruler for the fraternal twins, Gemini and Virgo. This is incredibly beneficial for Virgo and Gemini placements. And for Virgo and Gemini risings, this is your planetary ruler, your chart rulers, this is a really big deal, are in their sign of rulership, they're empowered and fully free to express themselves. Whereas Gemini tends to be wired for information gathering and sharing, Virgo seems to be more geared towards information organizing and executing efficient systems or plans. Mercury in Virgo is strong and clear-minded, so long as we're mindful to steer clear of any addictive or escapist patterns. I studied children's literature in college, and as part of my elementary educator preparation course load, I actually elected to take a graduate-level children's fantasy literature course, where we got to read one young adult work or book per week and explore its archetypal themes. This was something I took via Penn State World Campus, which is online, open to anyone who applies and gets accepted. And it was one of the best courses I ever took, by the way. The Virgo-Pisces axis of opposition, the axis of health and spirituality, is really strong right now. With the Sun and Mercury in Virgo, tune in and focus on your overall health, habits, and routines. Check your overall work-life balance. Jupiter in Gemini has us all feeling a bit like an octopus spread in all directions. So how balanced are your 5 pillars of health? Your physical, your mental, your emotional, spiritual, and interpersonal or social. Are you checking all 5 of those boxes? Is anything getting missed? Imbalances can and very much will manifest physically. Drop it in the comments. Tell me about your routines. Are you a creature of habit married to your routines? Or are you totally opposed to their perceived infringement upon your independence? Are you somewhere in the middle? Our thoughts create our realities. So enforce those boundaries, but avoid criticism, nitpicking, or micromanaging. This is especially true during a Jupiter in Gemini transit, when your abundance depends on your mindset and your ability to keep rumination at bay. What do you do with your downtime? Do you regularly create time to do the things you love, the things where you get completely lost in the moment and you lose all sense of time? On the days when I need to be at work at 7 and realistically 6:45 to open everything, I rise at 4:30. That way, I not only have ample time to gently make sure I'm fed and awake, but can also feed my dogs and still make room for 10 minutes of snuggle time after they eat breakfast and we go outside and we come back in, because they are never more snuggly than after they are fed. Thank you for watching. If you're still with me, you're a real one. Drop your current most used emoji in the comments. If you took anything away from this video, we ask that you like, comment, share the content, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, we know that you'll enjoy the full playlist and this additional video. Thank you so much. Love you, and see you soon.